the North Carolina Department of Transportation. They have a variety of use cases. First off, in their environmental analysis unit, they use drones to spray herbicide and pesticide on invasive species in their environmental areas. The aviation division will do inspections of their airports, looking at lighting, cracks in the runway, or any obstructions that may be growing, such as trees. We talked earlier about rail inspections, the ability to fly the drone down the rail line and stay in one spot, very advantageous. And then a third and final use case here I want to do a little bit deeper dive into is accident reconstruction. And this is really one that makes a lot of sense all around for agencies to use. So the idea here is you have a major highway or even just a normal road that's being shut down due to an accident. After people are taken away and cared for, the accident remains, and oftentimes these scenes need to be documented. So the current way that a lot of agencies have done this or are doing it right now is called baselining. So they actually put a tape measure out on the ground next to their scene and then measure the distance from each of those articles they found to the baseline. And you do some math, Pythagorean theorem, and you're able to build a model after the fact. But ultimately, the takeaway is that's taking a couple hours. You're walking around on a shoulder of a busy road, so you're in a dangerous position. And then the data you get after the fact can be so-so. And then while you're taking all this time to make this model, traffic is backing up. That's increasing the likelihood of accidents happening, and then also taking dollars away from the region as people are losing money. Washington State Patrol estimated they're losing $300 to $400 per minute that a road is closed due to the loss of productivity. So that's where drones come in and can provide better data and do it a lot quicker. So to give you an idea of how this is done, the pilot will take the remote controller to connect it to a tablet and think of Google Maps coming up. They can then draw a polygon around a specific area that they're looking to fly, and then the drone will autonomously fly that polygon, taking pictures at set intervals. And then after the fact, they can use those pictures that they've taken to stitch together what's called an orthomosaic, or basically a high-resolution map of the scene through photogrammetry, which is combining photos together into a 2D or 3D map. So you can see this is an incident here of a train derailment where Washington State Patrol was able to combine drones with on-ground laser scanners to build a dense 3D point cloud. They won't always use laser scanners on the ground because drones usually provide ample data, but in serious accidents or large-scale incidents, they'll combine the drones to get quality data of the top of everything on scene, and then the laser scanners kind of get the nitty-gritty in between items. But they've seen significant cost savings and time reduction by deploying drones in the accident reconstruction space. And it's also a very good way to start for a lot of these programs.
Real quick, just hit one area, recreation. That means I bought that little baby, and it's usually one of these, small ones, if you will. I call small. And when I say small, we're talking about real small, less than a half a pound. It's really 0.55 pounds. It's easy to say half a pound. And all I'm doing with it is just playing, just having fun. There's no pilot requirements. If they're over a half a pound, they have to be registered. So let's talk about non-recreational commercial operations. Now we get into the fact that you must have a remote pilot certificate. And I use that term, certificate. I know others use a term that is really not correct. They'll say license, and it's not a license. It is a certificate. You gotta be at least 16 years of age, and then you gotta pass TSA vetting, which those that know, you gotta take a test through a testing center, and then it gets routed up through the FAA system. TSA takes a look at it, and then you get your remote pilot certificate back through the mail. You go fly in Class G airspace without ATC permission, but Class B, C, D, and E require ATC permission.
this whole concept of 3D transportation is definitely where we're going forward. So I appreciate your center's work on that as we go see what the future is. And it is here. The technology, as you hear, is all here. We need to figure out how to regulate it, control it, utilize it in the best way possible. Specifically of UAVs, we have the largest county in the United States, 22,000 square miles to cover. And it's tough. It's tough. Every time we have a rainstorm or fires or imagine covering the 15 between here and Las Vegas. How do I know what kind of deployment to do for if there's a traffic accident at 15? Do I send a helicopter, bring fire trucks, or I send an ambulance or a tow truck? We don't know. And so there's a lot of government resources using. So we're trying to figure all that stuff out in the county right now of how to use remote technology in different ways to make us more efficient with our resources that we have, limited resources. And how do we integrate that data, which is the ultimate goal of all this, is how do we integrate the data that we collect from these things into Esri or something else that we as policymakers can make resource decisions to deploy the correct way. And so it's an exciting time for us with this technology. There's a lot of things that we don't know exactly where to go or what to do with yet as we discover and as we grow. But with the partnerships, especially in this room, I think we can have one of the centers, and we definitely have the need to expand what we're doing right now in the county as we go forward.